Hello and welcome back to the monthly favorites. Coming at you from Jasmine's studio. If you hear any noises, it's probably because we're the only ones in here and she's making some noise. I do have my list in front of me to go through. It has been a crazy time. This is coming at you 2 weeks late, maybe 3, depends on how long it takes me to edit it. Craziness has been happening and I have finished my spring classes and then my summer workshops are starting. I have like a week or 2 in between to catch up on making lesson plans and stuff. So I have a bit of time before I need to go back into doing classes. I'm not gonna ignore the fact that I haven't posted anything about my Europe trip, which if you're following me on social media, then you will know there was a lot that I posted and those posts are still live. So if you want to see a glimpse of those clips, then you can see them on my Instagram through the 2 most recent posts. And then the other content that I took on the camera that I borrowed from Gem is in the works. I have it on a USB. I literally have it on this little USB right here, and everything is on here. All of the videos worked mostly. It is an older camera and I was like a little fearful that it wasn't compatible with the micro SD that I was using. I have not begun editing that at all, so that will come later. I'm not giving myself any kind of deadline in order to complete it, but that is okay. Let's just jump straight into it. The first category being clothing and beauty. I would say, what was my clothing and beauty favorite? Maybe my Clillo, my clothes airplane pillow that I use to kind of like hack packing less. I stuffed it full of clothes and it did relieve my bag of some of the weight. I really took that thing all around Europe. Stay tuned to see if the Clillo makes another appearance. I think that's it for clothing, other than, you know, my ITAJ sweater, which I used last night when I went to the drive-in. So it is currently covered in bug spray. That is why I'm not currently wearing it. And because it's such a lovely summer day. It is not officially summer yet, but the weather is absolutely glorious. So I haven't been using my ITAJ sweater as much. I did use it on the plane every single time I was on the plane. Beauty, I would say my favorite is my NYX setting spray. Specifically, the matte version is what I have been using because the bottle lasts a really long time, even though it is not super big. And I usually put it into a smaller bottle. This is just like a smaller little bottle that I put some of the setting spray in, and I also think that the nozzle on this one is just so much better. It's like a wider spray, if that makes sense. The NYX setting spray in a smaller bottle, and it's just lasts all day. It lasted me anytime I was wearing makeup in Europe, and anytime that I've been back, I will say I was wearing it all throughout today. And the only thing I really had to touch up was around my mouth, and that was because I was eating noodles. So yeah, I highly recommend the NYX setting spray. It just lasts so long, and just like a good setting powder. I also use this little container that I got as a Sephora freebie. I just crushed up my L'Oreal Infallible correct color, and then I put it in here, and I've been using it as my setting powder, and it does such a good job. Like, I highly recommend all of those products. The Laura Mercier translucent powder, the L'Oreal Infallible pressed powder, foundation powder, and then the NYX setting spray. All great, wonderful things. And then I would say that this is one of my little faves. It is I think there's a correct name for it that I will put on screen. It is the Italian name for this symbol, and you can't buy it for yourself. You have to, or I mean, you could buy it for yourself, but the charm in the item is buying it for somebody else. And on ITAJ's trip, we had a bingo card of things that we wanted to accomplish, and one of them was to get matching trinkets. And so we walked past this lovely store and they were selling these little chilies, and so we each bought one for each other and then did a swap back at our Airbnb, and it was really lovely. So I have been wearing it non-stop since our trip, and I just love it so much. In that vein, I did get a couple pieces of jewelry fixed. I don't know if you noticed last video, I wasn't wearing this gold necklace that I always wear. This one was gifted to me by my mother, I think in 2007. It was like a really long time ago, but I wear it every single day. It's just one of those things that I just never take off. I shower with it, I sleep with it, I do literally everything with this on. And because I wear it so much, one of the links that holds the claspy bit on it was warping. It also warped one time and broke when a child grabbed it and pulled it off my neck. Why did that child do that? And that was like a baby. A baby did that and just ripped it off of my neck. And so I've had the necklace fixed before, but I got it fixed right after my trip. Another piece of jewelry that I got basically cleaned and resized because it was a little tight on me. I usually wore it on my pointer finger when I used to wear this ring, but it was super tight, and then I stopped wearing it. But this is a gold ring with a little diamond in it that my father gifted my mom when either it was like their first anniversary gift or it was just some kind of like promise ring, and she gifted it to me. I wore it all the time, and then I don't know, I go into phases of really liking wearing rings and really not, and I'm currently in a very like ring focused era, and so I'm really glad that I got this one cleaned and resized, and now it just lives on this finger, and I don't know, I really like this one. So yeah, that is clothing and beauty. Next is my favorite moments of the month, and obviously all of the ITAJ Europe trip. There were just so many moments from the trip that mean so much to me. I had like the best time in May. I cried a lot because friendship is beautiful and I am a sucker, and I get very emotional. It was so magical and wonderful. And maybe I will leave a secret link to the video that Tina posted. Maybe I'll ask her first. If she said yes, then I will put the link in. If she said no, then I'm so sorry. That will be just for the ITAJ, and you'll just have to take my word for it that video makes me cry every single time I watch it. At the top of the month, I did spend Mother's Day with my family. We went to go see the flowers that were blooming all over Niagara on the lake. We went for this like really lovely walk, and saw the flower exhibitions. I baked a carrot cake for the family, and then yeah, just got to spend some like long-awaited time with the family. Some of my spring classes ended earlier than other classes. My students from those classes brought in some lovely gifts. Some are handmade, some are gift cards, and it was just really nice to feel appreciated by my students. And then one student actually brought in this glorious squishy. It was perfect and pink and sparkly, and it was everything, and I wish I could own it. They told me they got it from the dollar store, and I have since visited at least 5 dollar stores and it has not been there. I even checked the brand. I was desperate. I was desperate for this squishy, and it is sold at the dollar store. It's not sold anywhere. It's not sold online. If anybody can track it down, give me the link to the squishy. I will be so indebted, so grateful, because I want this squishy. I will insert a video of the actual squishy and then a picture of the squishy, because when I tell you, it's the stupidest thing to kind of really want, but this is what I want, this squishy. I did spend the day with Abby and Raph and Jem after I got back from my trip. I got to give them some of the gifts that I brought back from them. And then Abby and Raph were actually in Japan at the same time that I was in Europe. So they had an adventure of their own. And when they came back, they brought back so many little goodies for me, including a SenLinYu photo card. You're actually joking. You're You're actually joking. That one was handpicked by Raph, and truly to be known is to be loved, because tell me how, I'm just in awe. And then there's some Cinderella stuff, and then some other like beauty products, and some stationery. Enough. Pack it up. I'm too emotional for this. We went on this like really random side quest to the M&M pop-up with Marvel. We did the activity where you like punch and it like scores how heavy your punch was. We did the thing where you were like grab. Anyways, it was like this whole pop-up. You got free M&Ms, we got matcha, and this was all before like one of my last shifts at work, which it was really funny. I was just like, guys, I'm showing up, we're hanging out, and then I'm going to work, and then went to work, had some of my last classes, and then right after that went to the movies with Abby and Raph, because I was just like, you guys want to watch a movie after I go to work? Because I work fairly close to a theater, and they were just like, yeah, we got the car, let's drive, let's meet you after work. And we went to see, I'll talk about that in the movie section, but that in itself was just such a fun day. There was many moments, and May absolutely flew by, but it was such a fun month full of things and activities. Moving on to books, I read one book. I tried to read more, to be honest. I like started a bunch, and I had downloaded a few to read on the plane or listen to on the plane, and I mostly slept. Who's shocked? Who is shocked that I slept on the plane? Absolutely no one. I listened to the audiobook for The Summer Pact by Emily Giffin, and it was not good. It absolutely was not good. I would say it's the most mid book that has ever mid. I think it started out really strong, but then the ending, or towards the ending, just became a little muddled and unclear. I needed to finish it, and so I did after fighting to, which is fine, and I did, and I'll check it off my list. I did also start Alchemised. I read some of the original fan fiction for that one, but I never finished the audiobook. It is so long. It's like over 24 hours, I believe, which is punishing. So that got returned. I think a couple other titles, maybe I'll put them on of the other books that I started, but they just all got returned because I did not continue them. Oops. So that was the only book that I completed. The Summer Pact, I would not recommend it. Movies, let me tell you, did I do a doozy on movies and shows. Starting with movies, I watched Swapped, which I think is better than Hoppers, because then I watched Hoppers right after. Swapped is the Michael B. Jordan animated movie, which I don't even think I should describe it to you, because I think you should just watch it. I'm sure maybe you've seen a picture of like this fish and maybe the scene of this betrayal happening, which gagged me. It absolutely gagged me. If you have no idea what I'm referring to, don't even look it up. I just want you to watch this movie because it was entertaining. Then I watched Hoppers, which everyone, maybe it's because it was so hyped up to me to being this emotional roller coaster movie, and then I watched Swapped first. So when I watched Hoppers, I was just like, it doesn't hit the same. It really doesn't. I'm so sorry, Disney. You didn't do it the way that Netflix or whichever company Swapped was. Hoppers wasn't as good. I stand by that. I did watch Prom Pact for the first time, which was incredible. Milo Manhan, flip it around, Wicked Witch.
My name's actually Milo Manhan, which is MM, then you turn it around and it's Wicked Witch. Yeah.
AKA the guy from Zombies and the new Flynn Rider. It's so good. I feel like he was the thing that was carrying Prom Pact. I did not really care for much of the plot or anything else. Then we move on to the movies that I watched on the plane, which was a lot of them. I watched a lot of movies on the plane. I watched them, I mean like I watched half of them, fell asleep, woke up, and to just whatever was playing. From Toronto to London, I really watched Cinderella Story, Dune, Crazy Rich Asians, and it tied me over. And then I listened to some of my audiobook and then slept for a lot of it. And then I did try to play some Good Coffee, Great Coffee, but That was the first set of Play movies. We didn't have a TV in London or Paris, and we kind of just like scrolled on our screens and kind of shared. Nice, we did have a TV and it did connect to my phone or my device, and so we had access to my Disney Plus. We watched Zombies 1, Zombies 2, Zombies 3, and Zombies 4. I had never seen Zombies 4, so it was kind of like us watching it all together, but like them being prepped on watching it. And all I can say is, someday this could be ordinary. So good, so good. Once again, Milo in the role of the love interest. We also watched the Hannah Montana movie. I think we watched High School Musical 1 as well. We watched the Teen Beach movie because I had never seen it. We watched so many movies in Nice. It's actually insane. We just had things constantly on in the background while we were like either rotating, taking showers, or just rotting and eating dinner or something like that. So I don't know, such a funny time. Back to the Teen Beach movie. I didn't love it. I know Izzy and Jasmine really enjoyed it, and I should because Ross Lynch and Jordan Fisher, but I didn't hit, unfortunately. There's that one TikTok audio that was in there, like, what's going on? And finally finding out where that was from was entertaining. I thought it was an animated film, but it was Teen Beach movie. Hilarious. After leaving Nice, we didn't have as much access to movies or the TV because our Palermo TV was like barely functioning, and we kind of like scammed using somebody else's Netflix that was logged in, and we started watching Mean Girls, but then fell asleep and all just wanted to cuddle in bed. And by the morning, we had been kicked off of the Netflix, so we couldn't even finish Mean Girls, and all we had access to was YouTube. And through YouTube, we did watch some really, really crusty movies that were free on there. Yes, I know that Twilight is on there and a couple other films, but we just didn't want to. Like, maybe there was like 30% of us who wanted to watch Twilight, but we instead ended up watching some crusty movies while we were packing and doing other things, including a movie called The Outcasts with Victorious, what's her name? And then that girl from
Victoria Justice, and then the girl from like American Family or something.
Yeah, Jasmine's back. Me forgetting that the main girl from Victorious is named Victoria. I thought that was her character name, to be fair. That one is terrible, would not recommend, but it is free on YouTube, so if you want to watch it, it is there. The Outcasts, though I think that the movie isn't even labeled The Outcasts, it's labeled like girl gets bullied.
Beautiful girl, or no, ugly girls get bullied. See what they do next.
I think that's what it's literally called on YouTube. So look that up. I'm not going to, and I'm not going to try and find it and link it, but if you do, congratulations. We also watched another, I say we watched, but it wasn't. I think I went to bed or I was packing. Oh, I was taking a call with Jem, but it was a movie called Baking in Love, something about pumpkin pie, I don't know. Also not good. Back to movies that I watched on the plane returning home. I did watch The Meg because it is a classic shark movie, and I don't know, something about Jason Statham really does it. Watched The Mummy and then The Mummy Returns because 90s Brendan Fraser, also incredible. And then I also watched Sinners, and that one was great, except I watched it with so many interruptions from the flight attendants slash pilots that it like infuriated me, but I would do anything for Michael B. Jordan, as we know from me watching Swapped at the beginning of the month. Last movie, which I kind of like talked a little bit about because I watched it with Abby and Raph after work, was Obsession. And I need everyone to go, if they haven't seen it, to go out and watch Obsession, because the way this movie has changed my brain, it has altered my brain. I don't know if that's for the better, but it was the most freaky movie I have watched all year. It has had a lasting impression. There's like no trust in a relationship. I feel like, can you trust anything based on Nikki and that other guy who everyone thinks looks like Ludwig Ogren?
I get the guy from Obsession all the time now. Everyone comes into my chat, they go, I loved you in Obsession.
Lud, you look like the sloth from Ice Age.
Apparently he does.
I'm curious now.
I don't know. Raph came out of that movie going like, didn't that guy look like that streamer that you like? And I was just there like, no. And then I went online and then I saw that people were commenting saying like, oh my gosh, Ludwig looks like the main character from Obsession. And I went, that's just not true. Anyways, I need everyone to go watch Obsession if you haven't. It had a budget, I think, of like 50 million, and then it drew in 250 million on box office or something like that. It was actually insane. I've been corrected. Jasmine has told me that the budget for Obsession was $1 million or between $1 and $15 million.
Yeah, it was like 750,000 is what they were saying for like the production costs.
Yeah, and then like paying actors and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's like, that's fine. Again.
Anyways, they've just done so well for whatever they've done, and just the voice of Nikki going no will forever be in my head because of how batshit crazy she is, to be honest. So please go watch that. When it comes to shows, I did watch 2 dramas. I finished the All Is Well C drama. That was absolutely awful. Do not watch. I will not recommend. It's just misogynistic and awful. I did start The Perfect Crown on Disney Plus. I've since finished it, so I will save my thoughts for next month, but just know that I recommend it and that you should watch it. I did watch and finish Off Campus within like 24 hours, and I have many regrets because why would no, I would not watch it with my mom. Don't watch that with your mom. Don't watch that with your parents in general, unless you have like that kind of crazy relationship to be watching so many sex scenes with your parents. None of the men in that show are attractive, and all of the singing is so cringe. I had to fast forward through it, and maybe that's how I got through it so quickly in 24 hours, but not my fave. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. And I did watch at least one full episode, if not many small parts of Degrassi, but in French, because that is what was the default on our Nice TV. Anytime we turned on the TV in Nice, it was just streaming constantly Degrassi, but obviously in French. My Duolingo was paying off, and that was really nice. Manga and anime. Cut the cameras. We're not even talking about anime because I didn't watch any. Sorry. Manga, however, I am behind, or I was behind by so much. All of the ones that I am currently following had a lot of updates, and I was behind by at least 15 days or more. I only read like, I want to say 10 chapters in total for my entire trip away, but there was probably 10 updates per day. So I was behind by a lot. I've since caught up, and a lot of the ones that I've been following have been ending, like series finale ending, and it has been soul crushing, but also like very satisfying to go through. So again, I will leave that for June on all the ones that I have since caught up with and crashed out and cried about. Jinx specifically has ended, and I have been crying over it. So I need side stories as soon as possible. The season finale of Mind the Gap, I don't think it's coming back till fall or winter, which is really sad because I need to know what happens to this character and how they're going to kind of fix the relationship that has been so tarnished. And then I've been eating up all of the content from the sketch guideverse alternate universe that's been happening in the side stories. I just need like 700 more chapters of that series because it's so good and so entertaining. I feel it's a little less toxic than the original sketch story, if that makes sense. So I don't know, there's a lot to catch up on, and I have been panic reading for sure. Onto the music category, I will say all of the songs that are on my May playlist, which I will put right here, including Justin Bieber's Beauty and a Beat, minus the redacted Nicki Minaj part. Justin Bieber followed us all throughout Europe. I'm not even making that up. He straight up was just in London, in Paris, possibly even Nice. I don't even know.
Yeah, he was.
He just was. So he followed us. Hailey Bieber was there too. I can definitely say that. always in the corner, just like looking. I had a very, very wholesome moment in which I sang the song Lucky by Jason Mraz and Kobe Calais with a cashier in Italy, which surreal moment in general, but it was so wholesome. Walking down the streets of Palermo and then seeing some guys just like skateboarding. They were just blasting the gorillas, and that was just such a fun moment. I just love people watching and seeing people just like exist in their normal lives. So that was an incredible moment that stuck with me. This is the Life by Hannah Montana, and then Night Changes, because I just today rewatched Tina's videos of our trip, and she used all of those songs, and I cried a lot. And I got my friend's sister to also cry because of how emotional it was. So all of those. And also all of the freaking surprise songs that BTS has been doing for their concert. I'm mad and I'm upset, but I'm like also so happy that people get to experience these songs in concert, but like I'm mad. And I need the Toronto show to have some good songs. If I get permission to dance, this is me knocking on wood because that's not gonna happen, right? Toronto day 2. We simply can't have permission to dance. I really cannot have that. I also really need to start listening back to the Bad Bunny tour set list because I need to be shaking ass at his concert, so I need to know it. In other media, I've been listening to and watching a lot of Efsler content. Foosley, Squeaks, Ludwig, and Ray. Any of their content that they have put out together has been super entertaining. The Annihilator Cup that Squeaks, Foosley, and Ludwig did together with their other teammates. And I've been heavily following the Lego minifigure drama, if you have been on that side of YouTube. And it all started from one video that I watched Moist Critical post about it, and now I've fallen into the rabbit hole, and I need justice. I need justice for everyone involved that needs money to be owed to them, and just like Reckless Bennett in general just needs to not have any lawsuits against him for trying to help somebody who had stuff stolen from him. And just the entire state of Utah, their police department needs to get their shit together, because what do you mean that there's so much corruption and everything is influenced by the Mormon church, but everybody is not allowed to do anything about it? Kind of crazy, kind of awful. That's the end of the video. Hopefully, maybe you'll see Europe content soon. If not, look forward to the June favorites. I will say that I have 2 ongoing beverages right now. Water. Can you guess what the other one is? If you guessed the Felix collaboration Stray Kids Gongcha milk tea, specifically the taro milk tea with pearls, then you'd be right, because Jamai did purchase 4 beverages, 1 for me and her other friends, and it did come with
Yo, that's sick.
it did come with a little CD kind of case with him on it. It comes in pink or blue, and obviously I got the blue one. So yeah, I will forget about this by the time it is June. Let's be honest, by the time I come to filming the June favorites, I would have forgotten about that. So this is me just sliding it in there because it's here and it's in front of me, and I have lack of object permanence, I think. Anyways, that was it. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, what emoji should they leave in the comment section?
A butterfly.
Cute. Okay, leave a butterfly emoji in the comment section if you've made it this far. My ears just popped randomly, but yes, now I'm going to go on to editing this and hopefully having it posted very soon. Done. Goodbye.